Welcome. Indecisiveness. You know, I remember many, many moments throughout my past in which I was indecisive, and that indecisiveness caused me to feel confused about the direction that I wanted to take in life, and I just didn't know if I shall go, this way or this way, right? And you know what I'm talking about. And I would love to clarify a few points here right now, that it's just an experience out of my life, and hopefully enables you to become more clear about the direction and clarity in your life, to create more clarity around the choices that are most true to you. And what we say often is that, follow your heart and don't follow your mind. And that is very, very true. But yet, in a lot of people's lives, it stays an intellectual concept, which means they understand the words, but because we have not experienced that yet, or only partially, we see ourselves, more often than others. Other people are caught up in moments in which we just do not anymore know what path to take. And that obviously can be very disturbing, right? Because if your goal is, or if you feel most true about to take the right route, and in truth, your heart that we have to learn how to listen to says the left route, and we do not know what route to take, we could drive for the next year, 2, 10, 20 years, our entire life, towards a direction that, yes, ultimately will get us there, but it is with so much more, with such a detour, and with so many more obstacles and so many more challenges, for example. And probably let's take the challenge out. It just takes longer in time, in clock time, to actually getting back to the path that our heart told you in the beginning that we want to take. So it's a far more direct route, if this makes sense. And even though I just described that here in terms of a linear progression, which truly is actually not the case at all. Okay. So how do we follow our heart rather than listen to our minds? And again, I was somebody that has been living that part within my life that was my mind for many, 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 many years. Okay, before a miraculous experience really opened my eyes to a very profound, efficient, and joyous way of living. Okay, and there's no right and wrong here. I'm just, explaining and sharing with you my way of living, and I hope that is of value to you. So how do we not take the route of our mind, the egoistical mind, the thinking mind, that is such a detour, and that takes us, a prolonged journey to really getting back to the roots. And eventually we all will. Consciousness always will get us back to where we belong. But it may take you this lifetime, it may take you another lifetime, it may take you a year, it may take you a week. And I'm here to just sharing with you, some more some other ways of living. Okay. So if we are right now confused in terms of our direction, what this confusion is and why it actually occurs, because there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between your heart and between your mind. And that disconnect creates that confusion. And what we need to do is to remove or to allow that disconnect to dissolve. And once we dissolve that, what we have dissolved in that matter is the mind, which only leaves us predominantly with the heart, and that's most authentic direction that we want to work towards too. In exclamation marks, because there's no future linear progression, as I said. There's only this moment. And I know you have heard that before, but again, have you experienced that? That's the question. So how do we do that? How do we dissolve this disconnect? So we do actually, dissolve the confusion and indecisiveness in our life. Because once your heart takes over, you know innately what your path is. You know what to take. Okay? But often this is preventing us from actually feeling that and going into it. And the way we go about it is just by making time to feel again. And I know that can be in the face, because I know how many people of us, and in my own life, I try to avoid those shadow sides within us. Those sides within us that frustrates us, and we sometimes have to allow ourselves to really, truly see and observe and witness the bottom of the lake, which is the depth within us. And we can only do that by making space and time for that, by allowing us to expand that area in our life that needs to be expanded to become clear and to create a meaningful life again. And that's all it is. And how do we do that? Well, make time for yourself. Go into an environment, into the beauty of the forest, close to the ocean, into the mountains. Put on some beautiful music, close your eyes, and just breathe again. Just do that. And it sounds profound and it sounds too simple to be true, but I promise that this is the only way. I'm not saying I'm right here, I'm just saying that out of my experience, this is the only way for you to again get in touch with your highest good. And I have taught for many years there are many different philosophies out there, but what I do say and what I do stand for is to share with you a message, my perspective upon life, that is as pure and as authentic and as true as I can bring it to you. And the reason why I do that is because there are just so many diluted messages out there that do not cut to the core of it. And I had to hear these messages as well at a time when it was right for me, and it's all beautiful. It's all is fantastic the way it is. But if you're ready to listen to a new message, then this is maybe your way of going about it.